And when we got together in July and decided to convene now, we said we wanted to do it to talk about innovation in healthcare. So all the things that we saw on this little tour today, it's full of examples of how innovation in healthcare are happening across the country. But one of the things we learned from each other when we last met was that we're all doing really interesting, innovative things that are helping us provide better service at lower cost and meet those challenges of healthcare, but we aren't sharing them all. So the purpose of our meeting over this next couple of days is going to be talking about how we can share those. The Prime Minister has been pretty clear that he wants, he wants to make space for premiers to be able to step up and define, have more room to define how we deliver healthcare. It's our constitutional responsibility to do that. So over the next few days, we will be talking, I think in some concrete terms, about how we hope we can step up, share our practices between each other, and deliver healthcare in a consistent way across the country, but also in a way that will be unique in each of our provinces. Anybody else want to add to that?
How in the coming days of this meeting are you going to bridge that sort of division? Do you see a division? And there you go.
Well, I think there's a range of opinions on it, no question about it. The purpose of this meeting, though, has always been to talk about innovation, to share what we're doing across the country, so that we can, as the governments that are tasked by the Constitution with delivering healthcare, do it better. That's the purpose of the meeting. Now, when Mr. Flaherty announced the federal government position on it in December, it added an element to the discussion that wasn't there when we decided to come together. We'll certainly be talking about that, but I think that's very much a beginning, and a beginning of that discussion amongst the premiers. Well, for British Columbia, a province which has a growing economy and which is a place where lots of people, where lots of people come to retire, we look at the per capita funding and say it needs to be finessed a little bit. It needs to be, I'm not saying throw out per capita funding. I'm saying you've got to refine the proposal a little bit so that it reflects the fact that a senior citizen incurs about $22,000 worth of health care bills in a year, and someone who's in their 20s incurs less than $2,000 on average. So if we don't, we need to find a way to refine the per capita formulas to reflect age. Otherwise, what we will see is we will see a system where the money, we're not able to support seniors' care across this country, because the money that would previously have gone to supporting seniors' care will be going to support people who are in their middle age or younger who don't use nearly as much care. Over the coming days, I think we will, as Premier Giz says, find a lot that we can agree on. And I think, as the folks who deliver healthcare across this country, we have a job to do in making sure we are sharing best practices so that we can knit together the system across the country, find ways to be equally accountable to our citizens across the country. We deliver healthcare. We have the responsibility for delivering healthcare. So the meeting over the next few days is going to be very much focused on that. Some of the things you've seen in the hospital today, private patient rooms, if you have it, you can probably reduce hospital acquired infection rates of hospital acquired infection by 20%. That means a hospital stay of 5 days goes to 4 days. How much more healthcare can you provide if you're doing things like that? That's just one example from this hospital. And each of us has an example from across the country that we need to germinate across provinces so that we can make sure that we are delivering healthcare in a time when the economy is pretty difficult, to the incredibly high standard that Canadians expect, and especially with an aging population. The challenges are big, and premiers are determined to step up to these challenges. That's why we're meeting. So thank you, everybody. I very much appreciate it.